Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today it's another Night Models Harry Potter unboxing, and it's, as you can see, Remus Lupin and his werewolf form. I think if the figure is anything to go by on the box art, I think it's going to look like Remus. I was never too keen on the actual way they did the werewolf on this. I don't know what I was expecting with where werewolves go. I'm not a horror fan, so I'm one of these that freaks out at Abbott and Costello meets the werewolf type of film from 1944 or something. So I don't watch any type of horror films whatsoever, so I wasn't exactly sure what I was expecting for a werewolf, but I don't know, it just never floated my boat, this one. But let's go down, let's get this unboxed and we'll take a look. Right guys, let's have a look at the cards. We've got Expecto Patronum. We'll know that one from the films, if you're a bit of a Potter buff like myself. Stupefy. Again, showing he's on the Hogwarts side. I think it's Hogwarts side. I don't actually play the game. I will get the game one day, if it ever comes down in price. That's his werewolf one. We've got the other one as well. So we've got Bash and Bite. So we've got two for this guy. But always, I did think, I say without getting in the rules and stuff like that, he's on the Hogwarts side as his werewolf, but as a werewolf he tends to go for anything, attack anything going, so I'm not exactly sure why he couldn't be probably used on the other side as well. Bases are as usual, slot of bases. I'm going to go with what I did on the Luna Lovegood figure, where I'll put some plasticard over the top of those, put a bit of putty in the slot behind, and work from there. There's always a bit of obviously where they bust them off a sprue or whatever, that just needs sanding down. I always give the edges and the top, even if you're leaving them as cobblestones, I just give them a quick light sand over just for the primer to key a bit better. Let's have a look at our werewolf form. Looks like we've got a nice big hole in his forehead there. And I haven't got a pin or anything, just to make sure, because I'm looking behind the camera, but it looks that way. Let's just see if that is a hole. Yeah, I think it is. So we've got a hole there that will need filling. Facial features is good. Again, we've got these strengthening pieces underneath. They're always a pain in the bum. They're not massively hard, I'll give them that. They're not massively hard to get rid of. Get your scalpel blade or your X-Acto knife if that's what you use, and just don't go for one single cut. Obviously, just pare it away, and it'll come away in slices, and then just hit it with a bit of a sand. And I tend to find they're not hard to remove, they're just pain in the bums, because sometimes, I mean, this one obviously is just skin, so there's not a lot of we've got to see. No, this one isn't particularly great cast at all. We've got divots and holes all over the shop that will need filling. I mean, they're not going to take a lot of filling, but that's annoying. We've got a bit of mould residue left on the leg as well, so that tells you a lot that this hasn't probably seen a lot of care. Got the usual mould line there, that won't take much. So there's not a lot of cleaning up on, especially on this one, because it is just like a flesh, really. Obviously they've been discreet over his private parts. We've got some fur there. I say the actual look of the figure is nice, well, it's not I'm not a fan of this particular type of werewolfy pose, but you can't say it's not a nice sculpt. It's just, as I say, this is actually probably the worst one I've ever had, and I've done a lot of Potter figures now, and just for little holes and stuff, that's the worst I've seen. So that's that. Here's his arms. And obviously this is for his Lupin self as his one there. But we're looking at these great big long arms here with a bit of claws at the end. They don't look in too bad condition. I can't really see a lot going on apart from the usual just light sand of the mould lines. You have to be careful with those mould lines across the hands there so that you don't break fingers off. And then we've got Lupin himself, which I think is a very good likeness. They have that, the way he tilts his head and the way he's you know, his stance, that's very Lupin-esque. We've got our, yeah, see right under it. See, this is always my bugbear with these. You've got all this great face and we've got this to contend with. Which, you know, I've done enough now. I can remove that without it making it look too, but right on his chin there, look, I mean, it's just annoying, you know. It's a shame because they're lovely sculpts, loads of detail, and we've got that stuck under his chin. And if you're new to doing these type of figures, it'll put you right off. You know, I've said this before, but you know, we've got a fair bit of mould that'll need removing there. That's not great, especially in the folds. Again, it's not hard to do in most cases. It is in sometimes, I must admit. See, we've got our, again, these are always check under the cloaks because you will get these supporting pieces and you will get the odd hole as well. That's not unusual to find those holes there. But as I say, it's not hard. It's just, I don't know, just annoying. And I just think for people, the younger guys that are just coming into doing figures, whether it's gaming or just painting them for fun, you know, you're losing your market because they're just going to be put right off. But still, as I say, the sculpts themselves, as in how they were originally sculpted, and the face, as you can see, I think that's a great face. As I say, it's just sport with a dirty grey support under it, which, let's just see if we can keep the chin and everything when we come down to sanding him. As I say, it's not great. Obviously his hand there, as you've seen, on the with the hand with a wand. So let's see what Gav can make of these. I have got a couple of Potter figures which I don't know if I don't think I ever did an unboxing on. I'll hold this up just while I'm talking. So I'm doing a couple of Potter figures at the moment, a couple of Death Eaters, not particularly hard because they, let's face it, they're more or less all in black, and I'm painting those along with everything else. So I've had them in a box for it's got to be nearly a year probably, and I just didn't like them for some reason. I don't know, you know what it's like, but I finally wanted to get them out the way before I do these two. I got this. I've bought a couple recently, actually second hand. That nothing wrong with the figures, haven't been touched. They just don't come in a blister. But I will show you those just for the sake of showing you. You know, anybody's interested in these sculpts, I'll show you. I think I've got Jenny Weasley and Wormtail, so I will show you those at some stage. I've got these from Titan Games. I'm not got no affiliation to them, but they've always given me great service, and you get a decent price with them on eBay, and even in these hard times, quite decent shipping. So guys, take care of yourselves. I do thank you for stopping by and taking a look at this video, and we will catch each other very soon on another one. Cheers.